Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos and on this video this morning I am going to be giving you some additional information regarding Carlo Ancelotti. So Everton Football Club are set to announce Carlo Ancelotti as their new permanent manager either on Thursday or Friday to replace Marco Silva. Marco Silva, of course, got sacked earlier on in the month. Everton at this present time have got Duncan Ferguson in on an interim basis. Obviously, Duncan Ferguson has managed two games so far, and it has been confirmed he will be managing Everton's game against Leicester in the Carabao Cup. Duncan Ferguson, obviously, I don't think wants to take Everton on a permanent basis. But Sky Sports did confirm that yesterday Carlo Ancelotti had arrived in Merseyside for talks with Everton regarding the managerial role. So Everton, of course, have identified him as their primary candidate. Obviously, they've had a few other managers on their agenda. Obviously, there was speculation not too long ago of possibly, David Moyes, reuniting back with Everton because don't forget, David Moyes was at Everton, for around 11 years when he was younger. There was also speculation about Emre going to Everton, but I think it said that Emre turned down the Everton job. He also turned down offers, from Chinese clubs. So it's looking very, very imminent now that Carlo Ancelotti is going to be Everton's next manager, and that's been confirmed from Sky Sports. I think he will sign a contract, Carlo Ancelotti, with Everton until 2024. So it is around a 4.5 year deal. But it's confirmed he has agreed a deal in principle to become Everton's next manager. Don't forget, Carlo Ancelotti has recently, been linked with the managerial role at Arsenal. But I think, Arsenal have got reservations about recommending him in. Obviously, Arsenal have had quite a few managers on their agenda, because they're looking for a replacement for Emre. Because obviously, they've got Freddie Ljungberg in on a temporary basis at the moment. I was reading reports yesterday, and it said, that Arsenal have been in talks with Man City, they're recommending, Mikel Arteta in as their new manager. Mikel Arteta, of course, is the coaching assistant at Man City, but it did confirm last week, it was last Tuesday, that Carlo Ancelotti was sacked by Napoli. He didn't really enjoy a long tenure with Napoli, but Napoli did sack him last week, despite the fact, that Napoli now progressed into the knockout stages of the Champions League. Napoli, comfortably beat Genk by 4 goals to nil. But, the question is, do you think, Carlo Ancelotti, will do really, really well with Everton? And, like I said, he is now 60 years of age. He's got a fantastic pedigree behind him. Ancelotti has won quite a lot of silverware, during his managerial career. And he's managed a variety of clubs, and he's emulated himself up over the years as Carlo Ancelotti. Obviously, he's managed the likes of Parma, Juventus, Milan. So obviously, he began his managerial career, in Italy and that, and then obviously, he managed the likes of, Bayern Munich, PSG, Real Madrid. Obviously he's already had experience of managing the Premier League, because don't forget, he managed Chelsea for a couple of years. He won the double with Chelsea in his first season. He won the Premier League, he won the FA Cup, he also won the Community Shield. He also won titles in Germany, France, and Italy. But what he achieved a great success at Chelsea. But the question is, can he replicate that success at Everton? Carlo Ancelotti. I don't really know. To be quite honest with you. I did say if he went to Arsenal, I don't think he would be able to turn Arsenal around. But maybe he will do a good job with Everton. But yeah, so he will be Everton's new permanent manager. Either on Thursday or Friday, like I said at the beginning of the video. I don't think Everton, will have to pay anything in compensation to Napoli, to recommend him in, because that got confirmed, I think, was it, not too long ago, saying that Arsenal or Everton, wouldn't have to pay anything to recommend him in. Ancelotti, I think it was early on this week or last week, joined a London-based agency, of course, because obviously he wants an immediate return to management. But overall, Ancelotti is one of the most decorated managers of all time. So just wanted to give you the latest news on that. But like I've said anyway, managers are getting sacked left, right, and centre. Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti recently got sacked. Sanchez Flores recently sacked. Watford recently sacked Sanchez Flores. Pochettino got sacked. Was it last month? Arsenal sacked Emre. So managers now are getting sacked left, right, and centre. I think actually, it's well, it could be. It's not imminent, but Solskjaer, could actually, be the next manager to be sacked, because he's obviously been under intense pressure at Man United for the vast majority of this season. Obviously, reflecting on our wins against Tottenham and Man City. Reflect on our wins against Tottenham and Man City, and our good win against AZ Alkmaar. Obviously, the pressure has eased off him quite a lot. And I think, our wins against Tottenham and Man City anyway have saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at the football club. Like I said, it was a very, very disappointing result on Sunday. We drew with Everton 1-1. Got to say, I don't think it was a bad performance by Man United. You've got to say in some aspects of the game, we was unlucky. But it was very, very disappointing, because we missed out on the opportunity, to close the gap on the top four. If we'd have beat Everton on Sunday, would have only been now 2 points behind Chelsea. And I did initially say, didn't I, at the start of this season, that our expectations this season, will be to finish in that top four. So obviously, we can't get into the Champions League, and obviously, we want Champions League football anywhere, so we can attract players to the elite level. But I was very, very disappointed with it. The game on Sunday was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 38th Premier League game in charge of the football club. But I still thought, there was some good individual performances in the game. But like I've said, analysing it this season, we have struggled against lower opposition. But it's been totally comparison against elite opposition, because I think against elite opposition this season, our record's been very, very good. Well, so far this season anyway, we are 17 games into the Premier League season, so we are now nearly halfway through the season. We've registered 25 points in 17 games. And you can still say, we are in that top four race, because, we are only 4 points behind top four. I know around 3 or 4 weeks ago, I fully disregard that top four, because I was very, very sceptical, that we was going to get it. But we are still in that top four race, because taking into account Chelsea have lost their last 2 games. But, analysing it, we've had some good results this season. And I think, we've also been unlucky in some games. I think, from my own perception, I think we've drawn too many games this season, because I think some of the games we've drawn, we should, arguably won. But look, like I said, look who we've, look what we've done this season. We've drew with Liverpool early on this season. We're the only team to take any points from them this season. We beat Man City, we beat Tottenham. I've got to say, the City game is probably Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's best game so far during his managerial career. We also, beat Leicester early on this season. We also beat, Chelsea at the beginning of the season by 4 goals to 0. So on our day, where we are capable of beating anybody. But we've had some good periods this season. Where we've gone on a winning runs and that. We've gone like 2 games, 3 games. Where we've won, and then obviously it's been back to square one. Um, but if we'd have beaten Everton, that would have been the 4th win in a row in all competitions. It would have been our 3rd win on the trot in the Premier League and that. But I've just got to say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, isn't a long-term solution for Manchester United. And I even said, when we beat Tottenham, when we beat Man City recently, and when we even beat Alkmaar, I said a good couple of results doesn't change my perception regarding Solskjaer. He isn't the long-term solution for Manchester United. And, for my own perception, I don't think his managerial tenure is going to work out with the football club, and I hate to say that because, like I've said on my recent videos, whether his managerial tenure at Manchester United works out or not, we'll never ever forget, what he has done for the football club because, he was a great player for us for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance in that. And he's obviously got that proven pedigree as a player, but my overall analysis on it is that as a manager, he's totally comparison to how he was as a player, because as a manager, he hasn't really got that pedigree behind him, but that still doesn't mean, he won't succeed at the football club, Solskjaer. And I think, for me, he doesn't have he hasn't really got a style of play, so you've got to say, yeah, that's an element of concern. He doesn't really have a plan B, Solskjaer. He doesn't really have a plan B. And obviously, you've got to say, for the vast majority of this season, he has been tactically naive. I think, there's some games where we've showed tactical flexibility, which is very, very good. But the vast majority of this season, he has been tactically naive. But I've got to say, I think the expectations are too high for him at Manchester United. But I'm very, very sceptical that Man United will sack Solskjaer, especially at this present time. So I can assure he will be at the football club in January. He will be still here at the end of the season. But one thing I can assure is that, he will not see out his 3-year contract at the football club, because obviously when Solskjaer had been given the job permanently in March earlier on this year, he had signed a 3-year contract worth around £7.5 million pounds a year. But we shouldn't have given Solskjaer the job, like I said, and that's one of the mistakes we did make. Solskjaer's nearly been at the football club now a year. It's almost a year now he's been here. Obviously he got recommended in December of last year following the dismissal of Jose Mourinho. Obviously at the first he came in as the interim manager. Obviously served 3 months as the interim manager, but I've got to say, Solskjaer did really, really well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. And then obviously then my perceptions were different then regarding Solskjaer. But since he's got the job, obviously it's been totally comparison, for the vast majority of this 9-month period than what we saw in that 3-month period. But I do believe eventually, Manchester United will sack him. Obviously, our players are willing to keep faith in him. Obviously, Ed Woodward is still determined to stand by Solskjaer, because I think our board anywhere are determined to back Solskjaer in the next couple of windows. Solskjaer's making plans for January. We know now it's only a couple of weeks now until the January transfer window opens. I think, we're also determined to back him next summer. But like I said, it's very imperative next year that we do get the right calibre players to Manchester United. We've got to, get the right calibre players in, that can elevate us forward and get us back, to being a competitive elite level football club. And next year we have got to address the deficiencies in the squad. But these a lot of players on our agenda. Like I revealed to you guys yesterday, Solskjaer is set to be handed a spending spree of £250 million to rebuild this club. And I think £250 million, should get us the right number of players that we're wanting. I think it should get us around 3 or 4 players. should £250 million. It's basically dependent on, how we are with our recruitment. We're going to be sensible with our recruitment. We're going to, you know, go mad with our recruitment, like, prime example, overpay for players, like we have done in recent years. But definitely now further more investment is needed in the squad. But we got 3 players during the summer for nearly £150 million. Obviously, we got Daniel James in, we got Anwan Bissaka, and we got Harry Maguire, and they've all enjoyed fantastic starts to their Manchester United careers in that. And you've got to say, the new signings, have actually been our best players so far this season. And all that. Then I'm surprised, the way they have settled in, But yeah. But like I said to you, I did say prior to the Everton game, I have seen a variety of changes. Recently, what I mean is that I think a lot of aspects of our game have improved. I've got to be honest with you, as like I said recently, we've been creating more chances. We've been scoring more goals. Certain players have stepped up to the plate. I've got to say, I think Rashford's done really, really well. He's rejuvenated himself, at least in his last, 10 or 11 games. I think his performances now are totally comparison to what I saw earlier on this season, because I thought Rashford's performances earlier on this season were really, really poor. But I still said at that point he is the long-term solution for Man United. Rashford is only at the age of 22, so he has still got a lot of development in him. Rashford is now on 192 appearances for the club. So he's made just under 200 appearances, and he has scored 58 goals for the club. So he's on just under 60 goals. Rashford so far has spent the entirety of his career with Manchester United. He's obviously, overall being a United player since the age of 7. He's been in the senior squad with us since 2016. Martial, I think, he's done well in the games he's played in this season. I know he's had a few injuries. He was recently out with a minor muscular problem. Obviously, he was out with a hamstring injury earlier on in the season, so was out of action for quite a while. But you've got to say that Anthony Martial does add more inspiration in that attacking third of the pitch, and he does help the likes of Daniel James and Marcus Rashford. But Martial, has just recently turned 24. He's obviously now into his 5th season as a Manchester United player, and he's now on 54 goals in 189 appearances for the football club. Obviously, he obviously plays centrally now, does Anthony Martial, because he had been given that number 9 shirt at the start of the season, and that, even though for the vast majority of his Man United career, he has operated on that left-hand side as well out wide. But that's obviously now his predominant position, but he is a very, very good player. Got to say, I've been also very, very delighted with Mason Greenwood. He's now on 7 senior goals for the football club this season in all competitions. Obviously, the vast majority of his 7 goals have come in the Europa League. 4 of them have come in the Europa League. 2 of them have come in the league, and 1 has come in the League Cup. Mason Greenwood, a very, very good player. Do you think now, he's, do you think, we should, do you think he'd be a better solution than Anthony Martial? Do you think we should play Mason Greenwood over Anthony Martial? Because obviously now, like Solskjaer recently revealed, he's becoming harder to leave on the bench, is Mason Greenwood, reflecting on his good run performances. But I think, we need to play Mason Greenwood on a regular basis. We need to play more on a regular basis, because I think he's only started 1 game from the start in the Premier League so far this season. But got to be honest, I've been very, very impressed with him. He's only the age of 18, so he's around 4 years younger than Rashford, about 6 years younger than Anthony Martial. But I think as he develops more, you've got to say he will overtake Rashford and Anthony Martial. But being very, very impressive him. Got to say, Lingard's rejuvenated himself recently. He could have had his name on the score sheet against Everton on Saturday. So too, could Marcus Rashford, because he had quite a few chances, and Jesse Lingard's just recently recovered from a knock. Got to be honest, as well, I've been impressed there with McTominay and Fred. I think they've complemented each other fantastically well in our midfield. They've complemented each other fantastically well in our midfield, and I do believe if they keep the consistency up, they can emulate into two Galactico midfielders. But obviously, I'm sceptical about that at the moment, but fair play to them. They've done really, really well. They've hit the ground running in our midfield. Obviously, when Paul Pogba gets back, to full fitness, that will be very beneficial for us. Man Wan-Bissaka's been absolutely immense. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career, and he's a type of calibre player you can rely on. And I think he can be our full-back for the next decade. So there has been a lot of good individual performances recently, which I'm very, very happy about. The positive is as well, we have got more players coming back from injury, like Solskjaer had revealed. He had revealed at Solskjaer that Paul Pogba, Eric Bay, and Fosu Mensah, he said, they will all be, they'll all be training this week, and that. As you all know, Paul Pogba's been out with an ankle injury. He's been out for 3 months with this ankle injury. Obviously, Fosu Mensah's been out with an knee injury. So too was Eric Bay. He's been out with a knee injury. He's been out since pre-season. But it'd be very beneficial, when we do get Paul Pogba back in that midfield, because Solskjaer's confirmed when Paul Pogba does regain full fitness, he will get loads of games under his belt. And Solskjaer did initially say he's hopeful that he will be back by the end of the year. I think I'm very, very sceptical, that he will be involved against Colchester tomorrow in the Carabao Cup. But I think Paul Pogba should be back for the game against Watford. But I've got to say, during his absence, I think Fred has fulfilled his position well. And like I said, there's some aspects of me that I do credit Solskjaer. He's obviously got a lot of trustworthy in his young upcoming players, because we have got a lot of young players in the squad that are developing and trying to improve, and Solskjaer's obviously keen on recruiting more young players into the football club. But I can definitely assure that quite a lot of the young players will become a success. I think Mason Greenwood will become a success. Brandon Williams will become a success. I think Tuan Zebe will also do really, really well. I also think that James Garner will do well. I've got some element of concerns about some of the young upcoming players, so this is why I did say it would be beneficial if we did get rid of some of them next year. But there's a lot of young upcoming players in the squad. But when Solskjaer first got recommended in, he did assure that everybody overall anywhere will get their opportunities, which they have done. They will get the chance to express themselves. And he said at the start of this season that the young upcoming players would get given their opportunities. And to be fair, they currently have done. Which is obviously very, very good news. Obviously, as I give you the news yesterday, I give you my reaction to the Europa League draw. I'll update you again. We drawn Club Brugge in the last 32 of the Europa League. Like I said, the ties will be played on the 20th of February and the 27th of February. The first leg is away from home. We do go to Jan Bredel on the 20th of February. And, we play them at Old Trafford, like I said, on the 27th of February. I'm very, very convinced that we will, go through over the 2 legs. You got to say, we've got the easiest tie out of, all of it. But I just wanted to confirm that, because obviously, we won Group L. We won Group L. we've obviously, progressed into knockout stages of the competition. And I do believe, we're definitely, good enough to win the Europa League, because, we won it a couple of years ago under the Jose Mourinho era, when we beat Ajax by 2-0. Man United, like I said, go up against Colchester tomorrow at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. It should be very, very imminent, that we are going to win that game. I do believe Solskjaer will make a variety of changes in the squad from the 1-1 draw with Everton, because Solskjaer knows Watford's on the horizon, so he's obviously going to rest key players for the Watford game. I think, a lot of young ones will play in the game against Colchester. I think, the likes of Chom will play. Mason Greenwood should be starting. Brandon Williams will start at left back. I think Solskjaer now anyway views him as his first choice left back. I think Tuanzebe and probably Jones will play as a centre back partnership. I think Matic could also play in that midfield. So we'll make a variety of changes, and maybe we'll put Sergio or Romero in goal. Don't forget though, Colchester have done really, really well, to progress to the quarterfinals of the competition. They're League Two, sitting ninth in League Two. Obviously, Colchester have, how they've progressed to the quarterfinals. They have beaten Swindon. They've also got past two Premier League teams. They've beaten Crystal Palace. They've beaten Tottenham. They also beaten Crawley, was it, in the last round, if I'm right. So so it will be a very, very interesting game, but we should be progress into the semi-finals of the competition. But we've got a chance of winning some silverware this season. I think we can win the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, to be fair. But let's see what happens, guys. But there will be more live videos coming up later on today, and that I will actually give you my preview for the Manchester United Colchester game. But the main part of this video was to give you the latest news regarding Carlo Ancelotti. He's set to be appointed as Everton's new permanent manager either on Thursday or Friday. They've been negotiating, what contract, obviously, he will sign, and I think it's one until 2024, like I said earlier on in the video. So I'd like to know, your reactions on that. I'd like to hear from a lot of Everton fans, what they think to, recommending Ancelotti in, because mainly, Everton have enjoyed a difficult start to the season anyway. They've had an upturn since, Duncan Ferguson got recommended in. I think a lot of Everton fans would like to see Duncan Ferguson, take it permanently, because he knows the traditions of their club, just like Solskjaer knows Man United well, Lampard knows Chelsea well, and, Lundberg knows Arsenal well, so take that into account. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.